Okay, and what's gonna happen today? What's gonna happen today is Donding. This tea I bought uh, in Berkeley, California. It's from Taiwan. I guess Nanto area. It's pretty famous. That's from Far Leaves Tea from in Berkeley, California. It's a pretty famous type of um, oolong, you know, that kind of like bunny wabbit poop looking stuff, and it will open up crazy. So you gotta be careful to put too much. Don't put too much in your guy one. That one I'll be using a 150 ml guy one, and this one has a little bit from today. Actually, I was taking this thing to work. Will be black tea. There you go. It's called Ancient Sun. This is also from California, in the area of Berkeley, maybe Emeryville. And it comes in a bin like this. It's called Ancient Sun because it's made out of old trees, like supposedly like 200, 400-year-old trees. Um, yeah, it says sun-dried black tea from ancient trees of origin Bitter Bamboo Mountain from Yunnan. The process is organic. I really like the teas from them. Blue Willow may be one of my favorite places where to buy tea from. So we got that tea there. Um, the water boils. This was white tea from Blue Willow. And of course, I'm being gross because I don't care. I'm drinking by myself. Nobody's sitting there. I'm just making a video, so it doesn't matter. So that's how relaxed it doesn't have to be like this complex, thing, man. I mean, it could be if you really are into making things complex. But that's where I throw the leaves, even to my chickens. This is where I throw the water. So I'll start by heating up this um, guy one with the dong ding or ding dong, whatever you want to call it, right? Call it ding dong for today. About a tablespoon, maybe a little less. Water's been cooling down for a minute, but this is how you do it quick. You got your gongo bay there. I use the lid to hold my metal lid that I'm using. It's a Frankenstein kettle because I keep breaking them, man. Like I keep just breaking the kettles. So alright, I don't want to like overcook this thing. It already smells like oolong. I think it's gonna be fine if I leave the thing on. I can feel the temperature of the guy one. I can feel if it's like a lot of temperature in there. I think it's gonna be fine if I leave it there. You gotta like kind of gauge it on your own, right? So I'm clearing my black tea. I mean, no, white tea. Sorry, smell that I was having from earlier, right? And I'm just gonna let that oolong sit there for a minute while I work on this guy. This is gonna be black tea. There are already leaves there. I leave leaves. I leave leaves there, um, like in the pot. Sometimes more than one day, but one day is fine. So just a thingy there like that, kind of like a tablespoon. I'm like a tablespoon kind of guy. I used to measure. I had like a digital thing to measure, and you know what, chicken butt. So here again, I'm gonna hold that thing. Can I put yeah, this is a total Frankenstein. So I'll let that open up a little bit there. This tea can get a little astringent, really. Like if you don't, I don't like make it non-astringent. So, like always, for a black tea, leave a little bit in there, a little bit of that water. If it was being really cool about it, this I would be like putting the water on top. Maybe if I had some sort of a thing on there, but I just made this. I actually made that myself. I made it myself, and I made it with um, stuff from the job site, like a piece of tile nobody wanted. It's gonna go in the garbage anyways, probably, or like some sort of storage. And I dug that there's a little piece of cut out of mahogany or sapele, whichever it is. And I made the frame to hold this tile on top. So I'm trying it out instead of using one of these things, the usual trays. Trying to be a little bit more clean about this. So all right, just warming up the vessels. Now boil a little bit more water real quick. I guess you can see what time it is. Yes, I drink tea pretty late. So this is starting to get full, and I just put that water there. What is this? I know I have a lot of stuff, but whatever, man. It's my place. This I burnt, so I ruined this kettle too. It's pretty good kettle from Amazon. It's actually in the affiliate link. And why that lid? Well, this is the plate from a broken guy one. I tried this from Amazon as well. It is in the affiliate links. It's pretty good, but it started to get chipped, and I think it had to do because I never knew when it was boiling, and I would just let it go for too long, and sometimes I'll put cold water in there, and whatever, it's got boil. But the lid from that kettle, this kind of lid, when you're boiling, it's the second lid that happens, because I have another one a little bit bigger, but I keep the water from the reverse osmosis. This this is like a laminated um, bamboo, and then it's got some metal there glued up, and with the boiling, it just starts falling apart, and then it smells in there like wood. So then your water smells like wood. You can taste it on the tea. It's like, what's going on? Anyhow, so boiling water. That's pretty big, actually. So now we're gonna do that one. I actually think I need a little bit more water. Just a little bit. I've broken mostly kettles, and some because it was my fault, and some because it was the kettle's fault. This one, and there's another one there that I also broke. Went to look for it. This one I also destroyed. You can see the bottom chipped out, and it started like coming apart in the inside. This was pretty expensive. It was great, but I think it's good for someone who's not gonna forget about it and then destroy it. And this all happened because I was using one of these infrared things that will not be cut off automatically. This one does have an automatic shut off. It at least brings it down to like a level where it's not going to burn anything. And I should have had that from earlier. In fact, that burner burnt because I forgot about it because I always get distracted for whatever reason. There's always something I have to attend to, and I tossed it out there because it made the whole house stink like burnt plastic. So now I have this one. I'm pretty happy with it, and this is ready. Let's see. I might have let it be there too long. It's a great black tea, but with like a lot of a white tea kind of character. If you get my drift, especially I think has to do with how it was like sun dried and stuff. So the way it was oxidized, it's pretty good. So yeah, I'm testing my new way of doing things. It's a lot more space, and yes, this opened up. So starting to open up. That's the dong ding. I want to call it ding dong. So I'm not gonna pierce the clump of the tea. I'm just gonna pour on the side of it, not be too aggressive, and that's gonna make them like go around in a little whirlpool. And as soon as I put the lid on, boom, on the guy one. So I'm just being respectful with this tea. It's like you don't know someone, you start like cussing and like slapping them, in the back and whatever. If you don't know a tea, also you don't get too comfy with it. Let it settle down. Very grassy kind of green tea. Smell is really floral. Good. It has not completely opened up. This by Yeah. I don't think I have any of that like here. Pretty good. Reminds me of green tea, but more complex. Almost like milk oolong. So yeah, the hat that I'm wearing, I know it's stupid, but I think it's funny when you don't have those undone. It's 21 degrees outside. It's super freezing and snowing and whatever. And this hat really makes a difference. Sometimes, you just can't handle it. It's too cold or whatever. So having a good hat is pretty good. So that was a demonstration of how quickly to steep. You don't want to do what the 30 seconds steeps or whatever, like just don't do that. You're not gonna like the tea. Be quick, be gentle. You know, there's a proverb that says like, keep your foot from going in your neighbor's house too many times on so you don't become unwelcome. It's kind of like what I feel like, about the tea, that you don't know much. Just don't abuse it. It's a perfect temperature for this black tea. Just just a little bit hotter than lukewarm. It becomes like round, and I've 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 had more people become interested on drinking tea like this because of this black tea, ancient sun, than any other tea. And it's like a really good getaway. to get in there. Pretty good black tea. And he has made me drink a lot more black teas actually. So you'll say, why are you using a grande if you're not pouring to more people? Well, because I'm controlling the temperature. No, sorry, I'm controlling the time I'm steeping, right? But if I was by myself and I was drinking one tea only, because I have two tea, I have to have 2 cups or whatever. I'll not use this. Let me put it right here. But I'll use like a cup only that has a big enough opening so it can be messy. And the cup will be a little bigger than the vessel I'm brewing in, right? So I want that space so I don't end up with that problem. So as you could see, I was brewing this tea for a long time with a little bit of water intentionally, because if I now drink this directly, this black tea especially, not all teas you can do this. The black tea, as I said earlier, it becomes astringent and a little bit too much. It's not that much for me, but it will work for the example. With a black tea, you can actually just put water and dilute it. With an oolong, you make that mistake, and it's just gonna make the tea really astringent or bitter, or the bitter monster will come. Here we are again with the glass kettle, and out of all the kettles, I think I like the best the Tetsubin iron kettle. This until it failed. So now my favorite thing to do is to have a little bit of water and boil it every time I'm gonna steep, maybe a little bit more for 2 steeps in a glass kettle, because I can see the bubbles and they make me happy. You know, not so bubbles, but they make me happy. So this is full on like boiling water, still bubbling right there. And I'm going for the oolong. I'm not gonna put it right on the leaves, but at the very edge of it. Put the lid on, grab the guy one, and boom, goes in my cup. Why is important that the cup is bigger? And it's so hot that I'm not gonna be drinking it right now. But I have a little bit of tea here, and I can dilute this black tea I over steeped to the color that I know I like, and that will be a good drink in here. Can do that with green like teas, like low oxidation teas that are not forgiving. Pretty good. It's got a little bit of that astringency, but not really. But that works. It's a good cup. Yeah, it's drying. It dries my mouth a little bit. So I guess that one tea, not a good example. And what else is here? I wanted to show something else about my setup here, but I think I talked a little bit about that. It's in the affiliate links. Talked about these kettles. I think that I cannot recommend anything from Amazon yet. Um, I may just put a link for a Temu product that is coming tomorrow, but everything else has not really worked out, so I'm not gonna be putting links for stuff that I end up breaking so much. I'll say like some of that was my fault, but still, they're not very good. This is too much. Really, you don't really need that much water to be boiling. You're not making big amounts of tea, so you don't need to be boiling a lot of water. It's just kind of like cumbersome and it takes more time. So hopefully when I have my other kettle, it's going to be a better setup. Let's see now how this oolong turn out with like full on boiling bubbly water. It's good, not astringent. I should have left this lid off. So let's cool this down. Oh yeah, I should be using like something else and not my finger. But I'm being gross because I am doing it by myself. You know what I mean? Doesn't matter. No poking my nose, but like I'm not doing. I'm not sticking my finger in the guy one when I'm serving some other person, right? It's pretty good. About slurping, I actually think that slurping something that doesn't deserve to be slurped, like a soup, that's rude. But you're really gonna burn your tongue if you don't slurp a little bit when you're drinking tea. A little bit. It doesn't have to be, like ridiculous, but just kind of like letting some air in. Doesn't You don't have to make it like super loud. And then you swallow the tea. It has all that flavor and kind of like that vapor that you inhale. And then when you exhale, there is a second part of the flavor of the tea that is perceived when that's happening. So I think it's worth it. I never really like felt that the slurping with wine was mostly like something that made me like feel anything different than just wine. But maybe I don't have the palate for wine. The other thing about drinking tea like that is like it's depending on the temperature. So when it's hot, then yeah, you're gonna drink it like that. But when it's not hot, when it's actually like lukewarm hot, and you can put a lot of that tea in your mouth. I think it's also nice to just put a lot of that tea in your mouth all the way. Just let it go all the way all around your tongue and take a big gulp, of the tea. It's another way of appreciating it. Kind of like when people smell the cup or smell the cup after they have drunk the tea when there's no tea in it. There's kind of like another smell. You know, People took their time doing this stuff. They put a lot of dedication. Might as well try to enjoy every single bit of it. Plus, it's not cheap, so it's good stuff. So, what's up with drinking more than one kind of tea? When I used to make music, I would be listening to my same song over and over until it became numb to it. And I think that happens also with tea. To a certain extent, you start becoming numb to all the all of the things that you are experiencing with the tea. But if for some reason you are a genius and you start drinking two kinds of tea at the same time, then you have that kind of like renewal of palate. That you know beautiful thing of the duality of the universe that makes us understand what is light, what is dark, and what's happy and what is sad. And having teas that are slightly different, in my opinion, is better than having extremely different teas, although it's fine. But I wouldn't do two very similar oolongs or two very similar black teas because it really, yeah, it gets a little confusing. You need to have more contrast. But yeah, so what we talked about today, some kettles, a couple of things about how to drink, how to brew, easy peasy, no problem. Um, as obviously stated, with what we're doing is not a ceremony, it's not a ritual much, besides the fact that I like pretty things, and I think Gong Fu has a lot of potential for pretty thing looking, nice collection style of hobby. You know, you can collect little cups and little vessels and make things yourself and enjoy, you know, drinking. See, this was actually a bar. Someone had set up this whole thing. I didn't make this. It was here when I bought the house, but they had dedicated this space for getting drunk. Well, it's being dedicated to tea, and I drink tea all the way till I go to sleep. I think it's a wintertime thing. See, it's frozen out there, and like I feel like it's all damp and cold out there. And this like hot, powerful, you know, energy of tea, very yang, in my opinion. And within that yang, there is more like yin, you know, teas like white tea and some oolongs, less oxidized ones. But just the hot water, you know, that fiery thing of tea, like keeps me balanced with the very frigid, freezing, frozen, crackly, sharp, dry, and damp at the same time environment out there, which is great. I love it. No one's gonna be trying to steal nothing out there. They'll die. They're gonna steal something. Their hand's gonna get stuck to the door handle. There you go. We got some bubbles coming. See the bubbles coming? You can hear them. Love that part. Okay, so one last oolong brew. Boiling water, baby. Yes. Just heat it with boiling water. Just don't take too long. Don't take too long. You got that one? See what I did? Don't take too long. Remember that one. I'm gonna use that. I'm gonna use that so much you're gonna be annoyed. All right. So haven't completely opened up, but it has. So you can see the twigs and the leaves that opened up from those like little bunny wabbit poop pellets looking thingies. Now it's double, triple the size. Very nice. Have to slurp. Very good. Very good dong ding. Ding dong dong ding. So yeah, Far Leaves Tea, you can go online, order from them, farleaves.com, Blue Willow, bluewillowtea.com, I think it is. Yeah, Blue Willow Tea. There is a, I think they have like a $100 thing where after that is free shipping on Blue Willow. They also have some samplers, I believe now, and they've made like a club where you pay a certain amount a month and they send you different teas and you know stuff like that. I'm waiting for West China tea order, buying from them the first time. And as I said, also Setting Sun Tea Hut here in Vermont. I bought a few teas from the dude Ben. Pretty good teas. Very good prices. Very good prices. Not a lot of selection, but the ones he has are good. All right, that's all.